This is a new era, bringing it all together. Getting your right mind, we grind, we do it forever. That's the only mission. Elevated thinking, it's a vision. Yeah, I'ma keep moving if this don't hit. You can't stop me when I hop aboard the spaceship. Sitting watch as I make shit. I am not a human, I'm a living constellation.
It would be like 36, and then it'd be like I would hit upload to YouTube, and it'd be like 4 days. 4 days left. I'm like, dude, no, can't.
We don't have 4 days.
I'm like,
no one has that time, bro.
tomorrow.
No one has that time, man.
It
4
drops
minutes.
tomorrow.
That's what I need.
Yeah, literally, like not in this day and age, man.
And now this thing, it 14 gigabytes, which I'm like, I'm cool with that because it's obviously it's video. It's and it's shooting in 4K, and
yeah, it's gonna take up space, but
it's gonna take up some space. But 14 is a lot quicker than 30, 40. I think it was up to like 50 at certain points, depending on how long you go.
Episode 50, like, I don't even know. I stopped checking to see if it loaded.
It was a
yeah. Need a hard drive and a terabyte.
Someone was like, "Oh, it's there," and I was like, "Oh, it finally loaded."
Yeah, no, literally, it was kind of like a hope and a prayer that it would be up and ready to
We were
go.
stressing about it. He's like, "Oh my god, I don't know if we can get this in time." Like,
yeah, literally.
Oh god.
I would just leave my laptop out at night for the night and just hit upload and just let it rock. And I'm like, I hope it would take like 8 hours.
Oh, it's terrible.
Like theoretically.
And then you check it overnight and you realize something happened and you gotta do it over again. I've run into all that shit, man. I know what it's like, dude. It's fucking terrible.
Sometimes
guys, the audio is terrible. We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah,
It's the
audio
worst,
would be
bro.
bad. Yeah,
It's the worst, man.
it's been fun though. But yeah,
But we ain't
appreciate
gotta worry
you.
about that no more. Oh, are we recording? Yeah, we are.
Are we?
It never ceases to.
Boy,
Yeah.
You want to say that one more time?
Yeah.
you know this
Boy.
In
Yeah.
the camera.
Hey, man.
Into the mic and into the camera.
Yeah. If it's one of those pause that started out of nowhere, I'll follow with that, man.
It hits the start button.
I didn't see you do it.
That's fire.
I'm slick with it though, because I'd be like, yo,
Normally I'll look over and be like, "Oh."
Yeah, right.
It's
Well,
never.
you never know
I
what
ain't gonna
you're
say
get before like you actually get into the conversation.
Yeah, I was already talking. I was like, oh, this not bad
Yeah,
content.
but you rock then, but not during the pod.
Yeah.
You caught it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
I over here, this guy right there.
I wanna hire someone to go back through all the pods because I'm not gonna have time to do it.
That's a lot, yeah.
And just pull all the times that we said, "Are we recording?" And just have like a reel of just like a quick reel.
Just like the different, yeah.
Yeah.
Of just, are we
Different
recording?
ways to
Oh
say
my
it,
gosh!
too.
Are we recording? Are we recording right now? Are we
Record?
So,
We
Is
just
that
go in
thing
the
100?
chronological order. Like,
Yeah.
as many like it wouldn't be the full 100.
Yeah.
It'd only be from like
from 50 on.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do like 50 on.
50
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
true.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Yeah.
Because that's when
When I had the full control here.
that's when
Yeah.
you got the full control over it. That's when
Yeah.
Kayla came on right after. I came on right after. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
That's
how many
true.
times we got the clap wrong.
Oh, man.
God.
Yo,
Oh,
that
that's
should
the
be a shirt too. We think about like different like shirt ideas,
Yeah,
like things we say and stuff like
Clap
that.
was
That
the
would be one of the
Things
worst.
we do.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, the clap was the worst.
Yeah, I know,
we
yeah.
never
Yep.
got that right,
No,
ever.
there was always someone off, bro.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
All right, let's try it again. 1, 2. Someone would clap right on 3
Yeah.
instead of waiting.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
this is
stressful.
yeah. We're never a room full of creative, musically inclined people, and we can't get
Yeah.
get a phone together. But we can rap on a beat perfectly fine.
Rap fast and
Yeah,
crazy flows.
yeah.
Can't clap on time.
Nah, this is weird. I can follow a BPM, but I can't follow a 1, 2, 3 clap.
No, too much.
It is what it is. Well, welcome, man. Welcome to the pod. Welcome. Thanks for making your way out. I know you had a busy day. I'm glad you were able to
Yeah, man.
swing things and come through.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It has
For
been
real.
some-
At
it
least
has been
since
some
I
time.
at least since I've seen you. I think the last time that I saw you, we were recording. We were recording for the Turntable Teachers podcast, the podcast mixtape.
Yeah.
That they were trying to do with J Plus. Shout out to J Plus as well.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, how's things been since then? At least from.
Bro, just honestly, right now, with everything going on with the music, I've just been trying to just build up the catalog, just saving up a bunch of stuff. Like right now, I'm just in like such a dope position to just have everything ready to go. Like if I wanted to, I could drop something next week. I could drop something the month after that. I could just drop a song a month. You know, I was doing that last year, but kind of my thing going into this year, I kind of want to be a lot more methodical with how I put out music.
Right.
It's very easy to just drop something.
Yeah.
I've just learned. I've just been doing it so long that like I'm like, let me just try to find different ways to do this. Like my first release of the year, L.Y.F E. I was like, I ain't dropping this song until the video's with it. Like, it will not come out until the video's ready.
Fair.
And so, you know, it dropped in April, and people were like, yo, like, when you dropping music, Amir? Like, when's it coming? When's it coming? It's like, damn, it's been 4 months. Like you want music already? It's like, but like, I was like, I need the video first, and I was waiting for a bunch of things to happen, and I was like, nah, just let's make it happen now, and
Right.
we made it happen, dropped it in April, and then you know, it's been, you know, getting good reception, but I've been also dropping collabs with other people too, so that's been helping getting more content out there as well, but I'll be putting out any other solo stuff I got. So yeah, it's just kind of like music wise, that's been kind of what I've been up to, but like outside of that with life, bro, like I've just been super busy, man. Like just like we're working and stuff. Like it's, you know, a new rhythm of things that I'm getting into now. So you know, it's a good busy, ain't a bad busy.
Right.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah. I was going through some of the catching up on some of the catalog and stuff, and I noticed a lot of features and stuff that you've been doing too. I'm like, that's cool. Like, how is that? How has that like kind of helped you as far as like music creation, like doing a lot of features? Because again, like going through it, you know, it was like, it'd be like, you know, your song, just, I mean, I'm going off of like a shuffle too. Mm-hmm. It'd be like your song, and then it'd be like, you know, 3 or 4 features, and then, you know, and what I will say too, to add on to that, is what I like is just the eclecticness, if that's even a word, or the eclectic style that you have of being able to bounce on a lot of different styles of tracks in music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I heard like a rock song, and then you hear a poppy, you know, airy song, and then you have, you know, the song that you did with L.Y.F E, you know, a little more hip hop type of style. Like your ability to be able to kind of mold into different songs and genres and stuff is cool.
Appreciate that, man. No, thank you. And I'm not trying to like do everything. Like if that's the case, I would have had a reggae song out now. Like my family's from Jamaica, they've been asking for it. Like, yo, when you go put out a reggae song, a dancehall song, something. I'm just like, it's not time. Like I'm not there yet, emotionally, like spiritually yet to do it. Like anything I do, it has to be the time. It has to be the right time to do it. And so, you know, just over the years, it's just things have accumulated to where like I do have, you know, I could just do like a 5-song R&B set. I could just do my rap rock. I could just do, you know, I could just keep it more boom bap and stuff like that. So that's kind of just like how I've, you know, been approaching it. Like whatever comes to me, I'll do it and just have fun with that. But I do try to be mindful that like it's good to be an artist with like a certain vibe, a certain sound. Right. Of course. This year I've been trying to focus more on like rapping or like more of the rap rock stuff, or focus more on that vibe. But it's tough, man, because sometimes I'll come across certain beats and I'm like,
it's
now I want to melody rap again. You know, now I want to make an R&B song again. And like, damn, like, you know, like I have like, you know, a bunch of songs like, you know, that like I want to put out, but it's like I'm trying to do like my rap rock. So it's just like I don't even like. Sometimes I like ask myself, I'm like, I could, you know, put this out in like a structured, sequenced way where it's like, all right, here's all the rap stuff, rock stuff, and then I'll put out the R&B stuff eventually. But then like you do that, and then now like you're sitting on stuff that's like 2 years old, 3 years old. Like I got songs that I have a song that's 3 years old, and I'm like, because I don't relate to it anymore. Like it's a song, like I am not that person anymore. So but it's a great song. It's just like it would just feel weird to drop it, and I might do it, I might not. I always change my mind on things, but that's kind of like the tough part about being an artist when that can do a bunch of different sounds. Like it is like it's pros and cons. Like, you know, people can say like, oh, he's versatile, he can do all this, but it's like, you know, then I could maybe confuse you. It's like, damn, like he's doing that type of song. Like, I didn't see that coming. Like, oh, I wanted him to do this. I want him to do that. Like, oh, like where's that? Where's this sound? So like you run into that type of situation. So, you know, at the time, for the time being, I am trying to focus more on just like rapping. But like if someone sends me a feature, like my friend Saul, shout to him. We did a cover to Stay, and
I saw that. That was a dope cover.
Yeah, and it was like that. He hit me up with that. I'm like, yo, this sounds fire. Like I gotta hop on this. He's like, you can put your own verse on it. I'm like, cool, because I tried singing the chorus to that, and we did.
It takes a specific. It takes a certain type of person to do that. No, that song came out dope.
Yeah, man,
I was like, I wonder where this is gonna go, and I was like, oh, I can, obviously I can relate to it. It's, obviously it's a popular song, and whatnot. And then, and I was like, okay, like I had a feeling. I was like, I feel like Amir is just gonna come in with his own verse and add that like hip hop kind of vibe feel to it, with obviously staying within the cadence of what the song is.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was cool. So nice work on that one. You guys did a good job.
Appreciate that,
good
man.
Job
Yeah,
with that one.
House, trans bass. That's like a style. Like that's a one of one in my catalog doing that type of style. So it was brought to me. So like that. Now in those instances, I don't feel like I'm, straying away from what I'm planning on doing for the foreseeable future in terms of like just sticking to like rap heavy stuff. Rap rock stuff.
Yeah.
Working with Vincent Tesoro and B Snare.
Shout out to them.
When they set me Higher Ground, it's like I
Higher
gotta
Ground
hop
was
on
another
this.
good
Like
one.
this is not the vibe I was planning on going with, but it's like when people send me dope stuff, like I can't say no. So like I just gotta go about it with it like that. So that's just kind of like the thing. Like I've been going about with features. It's like if people hit me up with things that I really like I'm gonna do it. But for me solo wise, like I definitely have my game plan right now with just all this like more heavy stuff, rap focused,
rap rocks type of stuff.
Yeah,
that's always the fun part, because I remember when I worked on the lighter side, which was more of an acoustic style of a project, because I wanted to be able to go to a coffee shop and then be like, yeah, sure, because it's more laid back. It isn't, hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's hard to get spots in certain locations because of, the stigma of hip hop. But if it's like, hey, I have this acoustic style kind of project, it's 5 songs, I can do, a little set, whatever. But as I was working on it, you like you said, you hear certain beats and stuff that is not of that genre, and you're like for me, I didn't want to go touch those because I wanted my mind to be so focused on the acoustic stuff that I didn't want it to like switch gears and go into that, and then I lose what I was trying to do with that. So I was like, don't play me any hip hop. Like I'm listening to like all acoustic style music. I'm listening to the beats, the instrumentals. I'm like, don't give me anything outside of this, because I really want to focus on.
You hear someone, jamming on jamming 94.5. Turn that shit off.
Yeah, right.
No, literally, I
Turn
would
it down. I don't want to hear it.
I would cut
For the next 2 months.
Yeah.
I would cut stuff off because I would get into that point. I'd hear a beat, even if it was a popular song at the time, and I would hear a beat, and then my mind would start rapping to it, and I'm like, no, Jay, stop. No, because you're gonna lose your focus. You're gonna want to write a whole song now to that one thing, and then you're gonna kind of veer off of what you're kind of focused on, especially when it's something so specific.
Exactly.
That one intentional was more specific to the acoustic style. Now if I'm doing more of a broader album, I'll try to dabble in a couple different things just to have that variety in the project. But like that specifically, I was like, no, acoustic style, this is what I'm doing, and I can't veer off, because if I do, I'm probably never gonna touch it again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, let me be safe.
Gotta stay in that bag. Yeah. No, that's the way you gotta go about it when you're going for a certain sound or trying to stay a certain way. You just gotta be strict about it. It's like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I've been trying to tell myself that for the last like 4 or 5 months, because last year was kind of like that year where I kind of was just like, here R&B, here melody rap, here just rap song that you think is a Christian rap, but that was on accident. Boom, here you go. That's No Trouble. That's my song, No Trouble, because like I put it out and I promoted it as a Christian rap song, because I was like, kind of sounds like a Christian rap song, so I promoted it as that, and like, I realized I was like, shoot, like I could do more stuff like that, but it's like I'm just trying to make what comes naturally to me, stuff like that, and like making melody rap songs and just like prog R&B stuff. It's like last year I was just trying to put out whatever and just to show people like I can do this, I can do that. But then you eventually come to a point where people gotta expect a certain sound out of you, or just for a brief period of time, like you're like, okay, like he's on this type of vibe. So that's just kind of like how I've been looking at it, in this point in time. But I'm the type of artist I could change my mind 2 months from now.
Oh,
like, you know what? Like,
big facts.
Screw it. Let's
we go through phases. Like, you can be in a pop phase, you can be in an EDM phase, you can be in a rock phase, whatever. You know what I mean? And like, that's a good thing to have, because like then you can tap into like different avenues where you're not just like a hip hop artist. You're also this. You're also that. You're not. May not be. Just be going and performing at hip hop shows. You can be performing. At a freaking EDM festival,
exactly.
Pop heavy lineup, R&B heavy lineup, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like at those kind of shows, you can also work in the hip hop as well.
Yeah, and definitely definitely fill that part in, and just like
that's what makes you more marketable.
Yeah, definitely that too, man. So like that's just kind of like one of those things that like I've realized with venturing into different sounds, and like this stuff I definitely do stay away from. Like I am like pretty strict with what I will do and will not do. Like, but when I say rap rock, I really mean like new metal. That's my influence. Like Out the Rough. To the Game.
Out the Rough was dope.
Thanks, man. And let me think, like that's all influence from new metal. Like I just don't. I just say rap rock just so people can kind of get the gist of it. But like I'm not touching punk. I'm not touching alternative. I'm not touching like pop rock. Like there are just certain styles. Country rock. Like other types of metal, like I'm staying far away from that
Classical.
stuff. Yeah, like people would be like, "Oh, you can do anything." It's really like 7 subgenres I'm touching right now, and that's it. Like we're not going anywhere else.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, it's a good amount, but it's like it's all true to me. Like I think like at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna make something that's not natural to me. Like I'm not
right.
You don't want to make something just because it's popping.
No. Like I haven't done anything.
You'll have your own feel to it, of course.
Exactly, like the drill stuff. That boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
but everyone's doing it, and it's cool. I haven't touched it yet, though. I'm just like, it's not like I'm just not like there yet to do it. If I do it, I'm gonna do it in my own style. But it's just like not everything should be. You shouldn't have to try to do everything unless it comes.
Yeah, just because you can't, like you said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Type of thing. Yeah,
exactly. So.
It's like with projects, like what you were saying. For me, it goes in waves sometimes. I go off like. To be specific, like doing what is natural to you, like sometimes I'll want to work on this project and then I'll want to work on like the project L.Y.F E and I are working on, and then like 2 months later I'm like not really like focused on that right now, not in like a bad way, like no, I don't want to work with this dude, I'll forget that. But just like, you just like how you feel, how you are in that moment, what you're going through in life. Like sometimes it just like veers you into another direction. And I don't want to necessarily work on it to force it and it not be authentic and where I want it to be. And then when the time comes and like I hear one of the instrumentals that we have set aside, and if that's what motivates me, and then it's like, oh, cool. Okay, cool. Like we're back on this project now. Because that's what happens to me a lot of the times. It's I'll disappear from beats for a specific project for a while, and then I'm like, oh man, like I'm kind of in the mood to write, and then I'll kind of sift through some of the beats that I have, and then if that beat comes on, it's like you're gonna get the thumbs up.
Yeah, so I'll pop it over.
And if immediately my mind starts, either rapping or some melody or something's coming, I'm like, okay, this is where I need to be. All right, this feels comfortable. Okay, let's push forward. Let's start writing again. Let's get back in this, and then usually that'll take me, through a couple weeks of just good like writing and adding more to it. But I try not to force it. Like you said, like just kind of doing what's comfortable to you.
Yeah, man.
In the sense of, or what comes natural, not comfortable, but what comes natural, because I don't want to force it.
You can never force it. I always like when it comes to this music stuff, man. Like I always tell people, like I never force none of this stuff. Like I have no like qualms or issues like with like anything music wise I got going on. Like I had a solid like 3 months of just like not like writing. at all. But I wasn't worried because
I
I'm just
believe
like,
it. Yeah.
I knew what I was going on, that had going on, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, when it's time to get back writing, and I did, like, I'm like, man, this is flowing like butter.
Yeah.
Like, I know I ain't never gonna lose it. Like, I've been doing it too long to just not know how to write a rap song or like lose the touch of writing something catchy. Like, it's always gonna be there, but it's like, you can't force that process. Like, if you know, if you listen to a dope beat and you don't think of nothing yet for months and months on end, you know, give it a couple more months and then you come up with that fire chorus or that fire lyrics, you know, like for the verses, and it's like, that's just all part of the process. Like, I've had songs where like I've recorded the hook and didn't come back to it for a whole year. And then I'm
Sounds
like, boom,
about right.
put the
Yeah.
verse on it, you know.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, okay, now we got it. It's so, you know, that's the side people don't see when it comes to, you know, working on music. They think,
Yeah,
you know,
they think it's easy. You know what I mean?
they think it's easy. Some people have an easy process and
Yeah.
you know, definitely crank out stuff like a factory, and you know that's definitely the case. But I do think, like, you know, those type of artists, you can tell. You know, you can tell
Yeah.
when they're not making super substance stuff, or when, because then the stuff ends up sounding the same. You're like, man, this dude does the same two flows. Like,
Yeah.
yo, his rhymes are not that intricate.
Right.
Like, he used that line in the last song. Like, he's not, you know, he's doing
It's the
ABC
same
rhymes.
type of beat.
Yeah, you know, like, it's just like stuff like that. So it's, you know.
You can see it's done in the same session too, because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just like continuously, you know, just continuously writing. It's like, oh, just flow. Oh, I got all these lyrics. Let me just dump it onto, you know, the same style because that's what I wrote it to. But now I have 2 songs, and let me plug it out and push it out.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a point I was gonna say too. That always happens to me now.
What about like the writing process?
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
do with the writing process. Yeah, I lost it.
Yeah, I mean, but like back to
Were you
that
about to
point.
go through your writing process?
Not really. It was just more sometimes. Sometimes it's just not the time to write.
Yeah,
Sometimes
Very
it's just
good
not the
point.
time to write. I know for me, sometimes I have to, like I've said it before, I have to let life happen a little bit in order for me to experience things that I can add into the music. You know,
Exactly.
and sometimes it may not be time to write. Maybe it's time to work on the business side. Maybe it's time, you know, it's kind of life or God, you know, telling you it's time to focus on some other things that you need to focus on, like the
Yeah.
business side or promoting, or you have this one song that you put out, but maybe you didn't really promote it the way that you should have. And, you know, here's an opportunity. Like I heard something the other day. It was like, oh, and I mean, it kind of makes sense, especially as newer artists, or I use that very loosely, newer artists or
Yeah.
independent artists. You know, you can, sometimes your older music can still be a hit.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you can kind of resurface it and put it back out and be like, hey, here's a song that I did. And, you know, for a lot of, especially like your newer fans, that could be a new song that, you know, that to them, that's a new song that they've heard. So, you know, you could potentially, a song that you maybe released in 2020 ends up becoming, going viral. I use that very loosely.
Yeah.
Air quotes over
Yeah,
here.
no, I get the gist. Yeah.
Make it go viral, for something that, like, oh, I dropped that 4 years ago, but hey, if people are rocking with it now, what's up?
Exactly. Yeah, no.
So it's like, don't, to share advice that I've gotten from somebody else. Hey, if you got a catalog and stuff that you've already released, keep pushing it out and, share it again. And you never know. You never know what might stick right now. There could be a line in your verse, and it pops off on TikTok, something that you said, and now everybody's doing a TikTok off of that line that you said.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. So it's like, I look at, again, to use the example, Designer, Panda, he released that song like 2 years prior to it actually blowing up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then finally he just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and finally it stuck at the right time, and then now you have Designer Panda going crazy. At least for a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, so it just
But
goes to show.
I still rock with that one.
Yeah, it still goes hard. Yeah.
So it's like, you trust, if you believe in your music and you trust your music, keep pushing it out there. Just because it's older, you may find that fan. Like I found, artists that I enjoy. I've found some of their older music, and I'm like, yeah, this still bops. This is still slaps. This is a good hit.
Oh yeah.
You know, it may be from 2020, but hey, it still rocks. It's still rocks. Super
yeah,
dope.
Still dope song. Yeah, like
you know.
I mean, it can still feel like, oh, it still came out this decade. It's still like, you know, so it's like, you know, you can't, you know, you won't feel too weird listening to it, because I know a lot of times people, like, when they're finding new stuff, they're like, if they're like, oh, this came out in 2017, they might feel weird about it. Like, they might not like it as much, unless it really permeates enough. They're like, I don't care, like, this is a dope song. So it's definitely like a real thing. But like, yeah, promoting old music that you have is definitely a big deal. I definitely pulled that trigger in 2022, because, you know, before I was Amir Maxx, I went by AMC, and that was like from like 2011 to like 2018. So I had a bunch of music that was not on streaming platforms, and so what I did was I put out a project called A Moment Captured, and I put out 5 songs from that time, and, you know, 2 of those songs, Mr. President and Grown, you know, those are songs that, like, I'm glad that I put back out, because people love those songs. And I had to kind of, you know, swallow my pride, because part of me didn't want to do it, because it's like, you know, I made those songs when I was 16, 17. I'm 28 now. Like, I want you to like what I make now. But I had to remember, like, that's still me. I still wrote that. Like, put my ego to the side. Like, if someone's favorite song is the one I wrote when I was 16, 17, so be it, you know? Because there's a couple people out there whose favorite songs are those. And it is what it is, you know? Like, I can't, you know, I had to learn to just accept it and be grateful that people just like something about me. Because for a long time, I didn't want people to, like, have their favorite songs be the older ones. Like, I want your favorite songs to be the newer stuff, but it's like people gonna like what they like, and just be grateful people like something by you. So that's kind of like the mindset that I've had with my music nowadays. So, and
of course, like with like the new fans you accumulate, they haven't heard that stuff yet.
Yeah, it's new to them. So
you know, you're showing them, okay, like, this goes back to here. You know, you're grateful that you're here
this
now.
point in your
like,
life.
Yo, this is where I was. And then they'll dig back into it, and they'll just chronologically bring themselves back up to now.
Yeah, exactly. And like, great music's great music. Timeless music's timeless music. Like, you know, to this day, I still have people who tell me about songs they love by me. That, like, I'm like, that song?
It's like, really?
Like, that song from 2011 that like
that's the one that gets you?
Isn't the greatest that I made on Logic and stuff like that. I was like, I'll still learn stuff. Like, that song still sticks with you? It's just like, hey, man, whatever. You know, like, that's cool. Like, I'm just glad you like something, you know?
If it works, it works. Yeah. You know, like, I remember when we were at MOCG night just a couple nights ago on Friday. Was it Friday? Right. Was it this past Friday? Dude, days are horrible. You know, and just for kicks brought out Vanity, and I was like, yo, like, this just brings like nostalgia, and like just remembering when that song came out, Local and just like the bop of it. Local Celebrity was another one, and just like the bop of it, like, it just puts you in a good, happy mood, and you know, you're just like, yeah, like, you know, he played some of his newer stuff, and I think newer song that he's got coming out fairly shortly with the video, if I'm right. I did that. Video's coming soon, right? So tomorrow, shout out to that. Check that out. Just for Kicks. Shout out to Just for Kicks, MOCG. But yeah, you know, he played some of his newer stuff, but then like you still hear that nostalgic stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, work. Like, it still just gets you in your feels and in that moment. And you're like, okay, like, you know, it may be older, but it's still slaps. You know,
exactly. Yeah, like, back to that point, like, you know, just real quick, but it's just like, when something's dope, it's dope. Like, it don't matter like when it came out. So like, you know, I've had like stuff I've listened to on like Discover playlist, and I'm like, damn, this is a dope song, and then I'll check it. I'm like, oh, this came out in '96. Why did I get this recommendation? And now I'm here to listen to a song from '96 like it just came out last week. So it's just like, you know, like, it happens, and it's just like, when you come across dope stuff, you come across dope stuff. So like, I think it's very important for artists to not just like forget about all the music they put out in the past. It's like, you know, and that's what's made me slow down how I put out music, because I'm like, man, I have all this music out, and like, I've caught people sometimes like months later. I'm like, I show them a song, and I'm like, wait, you dropped that song, Amir? I'm like, I dropped that like 2 years old. You just hearing it now. Like, some things just, people don't catch things. Like, people aren't on social media like you think they are. You're not as in the center like you think you are. So that's why you gotta just keep putting stuff out there. Keep sharing it to in a methodical way. Don't do it. Don't go crazy. Spam it. You know, don't post the same thing, you know, every day for, you know, 2 months or nothing. But, you know, do it in a way where people can catch it, you know, on a Wednesday when they wouldn't have the day before. Stuff like that. So, but yeah.
Which is wild that we need social media to promote, but it's like people aren't really on there. Like you said, people aren't really on social media like that per se. you know, at least searching for, I don't know, I feel like people aren't searching for music on Instagram.
Hey man, I don't. Some days what people go on social media for is what they go on social media for, man. That's all. Because sometimes I'm like, yo,
They on that Explorer page. That's what they on.
yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll be wondering, I'm like, you know, what do people be on social media for? Because, like, keep it a buck, like, sometimes, like, I'll see, like, my algorithm of what I post, and I'll be like, wait, that got attention, this got some attention, like you'll realize the algorithm will let you know what the people want, you know what I mean? Like, you can post your music, like, a certain way, but, like, if you post a certain photo, like, a really cool photo with your music behind it, it'll get a lot of, like, traction, but, like, if you post a cover, it might not, because like the algorithm doesn't like words, like they like pictures, you know.
Yeah,
so, stuff like that, man.
So
like,
annoying.
Yeah, and like you'll see people do it. I saw an artist do it, and it was genius. Like it was very smart because like he just like posted his music, but I think like he started a video off with like a girl just twerking, and
because the algorithm was like, that's what the algorithm wants.
Exactly,
and then
it was
like,
his song. It's just
hey,
he's promoting his song.
They're on to something. For real.
Yeah, it was his idea.
2-3 seconds of that, and then what you really want to
promote out there. Yeah,
Performing Friday.
Yeah, right. Honestly, man,
Yeah.
like because the algorithm,
not the
just
girl,
good.
but actually me.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's performing.
Yeah, it's just how it is, man. Like people just when it comes to like just just getting people's attention, people will do it by any means, and so whatever that takes is what you got to do. But some people don't want to go about it that way, and I understand that. Like I don't, I'm not trying to post that on my page. That's not like how I'm trying to go about this.
Right.
So like but hey, whatever people want to do to get their music out there, like I'm not gonna like say they're doing something crazy. So.
Yeah, that's on them. That's
Exactly,
on them.
yeah.
But yeah, the explore page is crazy. Sometimes stuff that pops up, I'm like, yo, why is this here? Y'all just
I tell
trying
the
to get
algorithm,
me.
take this off
Y'all
my
trying to
feed.
get
Like,
me in trouble.
Yeah.
I was researching something and I found that you can like remove that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So for those that may not know, if you're in your explore page and you hold down the picture of whatever it is that you want to remove, you can put like uninterested, and it'll literally eventually all that stuff will start filtering out.
Oh, where?
Because no, listen, let's call a spade a spade. I'm a married man. I'm a faithful married man, and I'll go to search something, and obviously the first thing that pops up is your explore page, and there's like half naked chicks.
Oh yeah, bro.
There's chicks working out in like super skinny stuff, tight stuff, and
got abs.
half
it'll be that too. Yeah. Like,
everything hanging out, and I'm like, yo, like this, I can't have this on here.
like,
You know
I'm
what
not trying to see
saying?
this on my Instagram right
Nah,
now.
like I'm not. And
I
then
want to watch funny stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
not, like I'm not trying to go on social media for that.
like for me, like I don't want to be like on my, searching for something real quick, and then my wife is over my shoulder, just happens to be passing by, and it's like, yo, what are you looking at? No, it's
like, I swear
it's
to
not
God.
even me. It's literally the algorithm, and it's
I
like, yo,
swear.
I'm really not. And then I'll go and I'm like, dude, why? Same thing with TikTok. Same thing with TikTok. I'm like, yo, like, why is this on here? Like, I don't need 400 ads of like hymns on my thing. Like, I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I'm not donating my sperm anytime soon.
Yeah, like
those
I don't
ads
need
too,
none of, I don't need. I'm like, what? How is this a targeted ad when I have hinted in no way, shape, or form that I need this in my life? And I'm like, and I keep hitting uninterested, and it keeps popping up.
They gonna pick at it, man.
I keep watching it. I'm like, fuck, why am I watching this shit?
I know. And then you end up,
And then like I'll scroll down. Okay, that's cool. Like, okay, it's cool. Oh, comment. Okay, oh, someone DM me. All right, and then I'll go back to it. I'm like, man,
yeah, and it comes back on. You're like,
throw my phone out the window.
I got rid of it. You think you get rid of it, and then the algorithm's like, no.
Okay, one more time. All right.
Yeah, let's try again. And then you end up either ignoring it because you're busy or something, and then it plays, and then the algorithm is like, oh, he watched it.
Yeah.
He watched it.
He watched one
flood of everything that has to do with this. And you're just like, now your feed is like,
I was watching edited and it scrolled up itself.
yeah.
What happened?
And now you're just flooded with everything that you
hit the
don't
wrong
want.
button.
Yeah.
No,
man.
they do. I've had my thing refresh by itself.
Yeah.
I've had stuff get liked by itself. I'm like, I definitely did not like that. I'm like, why is it all this stuff showing up? And I'm like, y'all just trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah, right. It's trying to
I'm like, stop.
sabotage, man.
I'm like, yo.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm a married man. Come on. Leave me alone. If you're not married and that's what you want, hey, go.
Yeah, like rock out. Yeah.
Yeah, be my guest. Do what you got to do. But I'm like, yo,
just stay far away from Twitter. I don't go on Twitter.
I don't
more.
even have.
Unless people send me tweets, I'll check that out.
I just go on Threads now.
Yeah, Threads is a lot.
It's a lot better.
Threads is here and there.
Yeah, because like just Twitter's just unruly, man. Like
my Twitter is active.
Yeah, it's just.
But I'm not active on. I don't even have it on my phone.
Yeah,
I took it off. I'm like, this is twice as, not even twice, probably like 5 times more dangerous than Instagram or TikTok as far as what you could come across. I'm like, yo,
I come across some stuff, man. I'm like, bruh, like
I scrolled like
random.
Yeah, like it's violent.
No one's talking about anything on there.
It's like violent or like porn.
Yeah,
and I'm like, how is this on my feed? Like I haven't even been on here in months.
Do not check that in public.
I scroll 3 times and it's like this and then that, and I'm like, wow. All right, this now I remember why I deleted this off my phone.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's just another thing to foolishly get lost into, and I'm like, I'll just stick to my Instagram, my TikToks, you know, but strictly just like I scroll. Instagram I scroll very lightly. Yeah. TikTok probably more because I watch like funny stuff and like I'll send my buddy just funny, just off the cuff, stupid stuff. But Facebook, don't even scroll. I'll like maybe check the notifications. Instagram, I'll post. I'll maybe scroll for like a second, try to reshare some. I try to like support and like reshare and stuff when I can. So
sure,
like
just like see what's going on.
Like people's stuff, just try to engage,
Like, so like if like people like, hey, J-Faye, don't share my stuff no more. It's not because that I don't like you. It's just that I'm not not really on Instagram like that. Yeah. Unless they send me like
but, you know, someone's talking about it.
Yeah, but I'll go through the notifications, you know, and that's usually where some of the shares go because it's either like somebody tags me in something or like I just happen to see something. I'm like, oh, let me share that real quick. But other than that, like I really don't. I screw up the algorithm by not commenting on people's stuff as much or sharing people's stuff. And again, it's not because I just don't like people. I just don't like social media.
Yeah, man. It'll go. I did a week without social media back in like February. I was like, I made time and read like a book, yo. Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, focusing on finding more beats to work on. Like, because I'm like, all right, well, I'm not wasting an hour scrolling on these apps. Like, I can utilize that time and do other things and just, occupy my brain in better ways than just like watching, TikToks and whatnot. Because like, it's really easy to just go down the rabbit hole on TikTok. Like I knew TikTok, like I knew TikTok was a problem once they had it on like the Samsung TVs. You could just watch it on that. So,
oh jeez.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say? My bad. I was like,
that's why I don't really go on TikTok anymore. I mean, I just get lost.
Yeah, it's easy. It's so easy to do it. Yeah,
it's bad.
That's why all of them.
I find myself like 2 hours go past. I'm like, what the hell?
I go up, post a reel, out, see you, bye.
Get out of there.
Loads,
yeah, same too. Yeah, as soon as it's out, I'm like, yo, I'm gone.
I haven't even posted on there in a while.
Yeah, because I have the
reels,
the insights or whatever for your phone on like phone usage or whatever, and like I remember one time it was like, yo, 8 hours on your phone today, and I was like, bro. I was like, I went a whole work day on my phone. That's a problem. And I don't know if it was because like I had apps open or because of I'm
at 5 hours right now.
My my Waze, my Waze being on. Now like you got me curious.
Yeah, that's a little different.
My Waze being on or driving in the car, like I'm not really on it, but because it's open and my phone, my phone is on, like does that calculate it, whatever?
Yeah,
I'm like curious to see,
information overload, man. Sometimes you just be like putting too much stuff in your brain.
3.5. That's all right.
That's good. That's actually pretty good. But like, it ain't even like have to be like bad stuff like that. People be looking at like it's just like too much information, just too much stuff. Just you're hearing too many opinions. It's just like
it's more misinformation.
Yeah, and then the misinformation too. And then luckily, like Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, like they have like the note that people put in, like saying like, oh, this is false information or this post is just doing this. Or, so thank God that somebody's vetting
somebody's
this,
somebody's regulating
West,
it.
if not that. So
man. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day of just how much access like kids have to information, how much access we have to information, where it's like you just have everything right there, it's like back in the day, ignorance truly was bliss.
Yeah.
Where it's like you didn't really, unless you sat down at the TV and watched the news, you had no idea what was really going on around the world.
Exactly.
You know, we were kind of in our own little bubble of everything. You know, 9/11, I only knew because I heard it on the radio first, and then my mom had it on when I came home. I didn't have, you know, somebody on TikTok filming something that's happening with it. I didn't have Instagram, people taking pictures and posting them up, videos, stories. We didn't have all that. Even with MySpace, I think MySpace was MySpace wasn't around because that was my 8th grade year. Because that was 2001. Duh. MySpace wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, well,
so
304 kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you didn't have access to any of that stuff. Even when MySpace was a thing, people really didn't post. You couldn't post stuff like that. It was just what you put on your profile. It was just like, hey, that's my friend. Hey, that's my friend.
I barely remember MySpace. I did have a MySpace back then, but I that was like very short-lived. Because once Facebook came around,
I wasn't allowed to have a MySpace.
Yeah.
MySpace was crazy. It was a quick way to lose friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, what's MySpace?
That caused a rift.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not getting MySpace.
Yeah, it was dope. Not for you. Oh man.
I mean, it was a cool. If you wanted to get into web design, that was like the place to start.
Oh yeah, you could go crazy
because
with
you had to put the codes in, you had to do all this, you had to do all that, and then you had to see how the feed would run. And if you had too many codes, your page would go super slow.
Oh jeez.
Stuff like that. You know, if you had music, you could put your music on there.
that was a big thing.
You had to put a plug in there.
Yeah.
You could put playlists.
Had 10 friends.
Yeah,
We start fights real quick. Move Johnny down to number 4.
Yeah, no, that
And then
caused
Johnny would be
rifts.
pissed at you, wondering why you bumped him down. It's
Yeah.
like, you're not my friend no more. Yeah, but I got a girlfriend now, and now my girl's gotta be number 1, and this and that. You know,
Oh, that's great.
but yeah, we didn't have that. We didn't have that information, and I feel like now, like especially younger kids, they're just so much information. They don't know what to believe anymore.
Exactly.
You know, they're. I don't want to say that they're not, but they're not listening to their parents anymore because it's like you have all this information. It's like they hear their parents tell them one thing, and then they hear something on YouTube the next, and they're like, well, I don't know what's true anymore, but you know, somebody on YouTube, because I like to watch YouTube, is saying it, so it must be true. So now I'm going to believe that, and then I'm not listening to my parents, or I'm not listening to adults, and then, you know, it's just like too much information.
It's too much, bro.
It's even too much information for me. I'm
Yeah,
like, dude,
it's just
I don't
for the adults too,
care,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, half of this stuff, man, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care enough. Like, I care about people, but I don't. Some of the information that y'all trying to give out, whether it's good, bad, ugly, informative, not informative, like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having information overload.
And I think like one of the things like I definitely have noticed it, like, you know, in terms of like like people posting like their relationships online and stuff like that. People be like, oh my god, like they're getting engaged, like, and it makes just people feel bad if they're not getting engaged or if they're not in a relationship and they seek to be. And it's just like
The comparison
like,
factor.
Yeah, it's just like I've just seen that a lot, and I've noticed that like it really plays in people's head a lot. And you know, the thing that people gotta understand is like people post what they want to post. It's like they ain't nobody posting like when they're going through tough times. No one posts when they're you know, like that's very rare. People post that type of stuff. So like people only gonna post the good things. So it's like when you see a bunch of it, you know, a lot of times like can you know put some people down. It's like, and that's goes back into too much information. It's not just necessarily like a bunch of news being posted. It's like just people posting, you know, the highlights of their life. You know,
Yeah,
like you know, you see people on, oh my god, like you're on vacation, he must be having a good time, or oh, like he's doing this, she must be this. And it's like they're just posting what they want you to show. Like,
Right.
You know?
You don't see the fight
Damn,
that
you
they
went
had on the
Puerto
way
Rico,
to.
this motherfucker must have WAP, right?
Yeah,
You got
like you don't know what they did
How
to
does
get
this
to Puerto
person
Rico.
go on? Yeah, how's this
Their
person
parents'
going?
money, yo.
Yeah.
You know, like, so.
Yeah, you didn't see the fight that they had on the way to the airport. You
Yeah.
didn't see that their flight got delayed 4 times. You didn't see, you know, the
10 times they forgot something.
Yeah,
the taxi or the Uber was late.
Yeah,
it was a
like-
bad driver. You don't see all
Someone
of that.
got
You
sick on
just
the
see-
trip, you know.
Yeah, you just
like,
see-
there's so many things
you
like
just see
people don't
on the
like
beach.
see. Yeah, they just post the good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, like we're all guilty of that, man. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
for
saying
sure.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
this. I'm not
Oh,
saying
yeah.
none of us out here like this. Like we are all guilty of it, and so like
I got you.
You know, social media is one of those things you just gotta like, you know, just be mindful of when you use it. Like we're kind of guinea pigs with Like,
Yeah, literally.
So you just gotta be mindful of it. You know what I'm saying?
I was watching, or I should say, I was listening to George Janko podcast, which people should check that out. It's a solid
He used to
podcast.
be on Impulsive, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I know who he is. Yeah.
He's got his own podcast now.
That's dope. Yeah.
Super dope podcast.
Yeah. No, I gotta check
Super
that out
dope.
because he's smart. So
Talk some good stuff. And he was like saying, because he was like, oh, because he's a big content guy too,
For sure,
And
yeah.
he was, talking with his fiance, and they were buying a house, and he was like, I feel like I don't need to post this, because normally he'd be like, yo, like new house, brand new house, oh, we just bought a house, this, that, and the other thing, content. And he's like, I don't have to post this.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to post this anymore. Like, they may see it in pictures, and if we have events or whatever, but he's like, I don't need to show the world that I bought a house.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's super cool, because that's what people do. Anything that happens, it's like, hey, I did this. Hey, check it out.
You go to a restaurant, they put food on the table, everyone whips their phones out.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta feed the camera
Christ,
first.
can you just
Yeah.
eat that
Yeah, it's like, dude, I just want to eat. Like, I just want to eat, man.
I'm the dude, bro, but I've stuck fingers right in people's food. Now
Yeah.
it's not looking good.
It's like, yeah.
Eat your food.
Yeah, just eat the food.
Yeah,
Just eat the
that's
food.
what we came here for.
Yeah.
my girl would be like, "Y'all gonna take a picture of that?" I'm like,
No?
no, I just took a bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Too late
Alright,
now, yeah.
alright, I guess.
What's
I
that?
guess.
Once the bite's taken, like that, no more
I'll
photo.
send it to you.
yeah, I'm making mental memories right now of how good this food tastes, because I didn't wait till it was cold,
Yeah.
because I wanted to take a picture and a video and post it, and all before I even started eating.
Exactly.
I've seen people do that. They'll take the picture. Oh, did I tell? Was it you that I told about the girl that she I don't know how fake or real or like based on true story type of scenario it was, but she was literally at the table and she's talking to the waiter and she's like, "Hey, so like my food is cold. Can I get like a new plate?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm an influencer. I was taking videos of my food and posting and everything, and then now my food is cold. And like, what restaurant serves cold food to their customers and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Yo," I was like, the entitlement that is happening right now
Yeah, man.
is wild. And I was like, "Yo, you're the one that made your food cold by taking the time to post content for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's on you. That's
Yeah.
not on the restaurant. When they
Yeah.
brought it out, it was hot and crispy.
Yeah.
Now it's soggy and cold. So that's your
It's
fault.
on, yes, it's totally on you.
That is
Totally
your
on you.
fault. So do not blame the restaurant. Again, I don't know if it was like just like a mock thing or just kind of characterizing what real situations happen, but I'm sure that stuff probably happens because somebody had to think of it somehow.
Yeah. No,
Either that was a real scenario or that happened and they witnessed it and they were like, that's going to make really great
Oh my
content.
god, like, yo, say this.
Yeah.
I'll film it.
I mean, that's happened. That's what like Kayla was talking about before. She, she takes life events and then she'll, if she wants to make a skit out of it with her acting or something like that, she's like, I just kind of mentally pocket stuff and I'll use it later on, just fun, cool stuff. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's good
Yeah.
content for yourself. So,
Yeah, man. No, that definitely.
If it's your cup of tea, go right for it.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
but
Yeah.
yeah, that's just
ain't
wild.
for me.
Yeah. No, totally.
I mean,
man.
if I'm on vacation, we're all like vibing, we're all litty, like I'll take pictures of like everything, just
yeah, you
just to
sometimes
show.
you feel.
Okay, I went here. We had this.
I've never
Yeah.
once taken a picture of my food, dude.
Never.
No, not once.
Not once, bro.
I don't usually. Yeah, I
have done
rarely
I've, like,
do it.
shown like making breakfast for the kiddos or some shit like on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But, like never like, oh, I'm at T-bone, here's
Yeah.
my steak. Nah, that shit lands and I'm eating it.
Mhm.
I'm like
Yeah.
that kid,
It's
you know what I mean?
it's got to be very like unique for me. Like either I cook it or it's got to be something maybe expensive or something crazy looking. Like it's
It's got to be like Superfly that, and I haven't like done this in a while.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, let me shout out, maybe the wife that, cooked me a super dope meal, whatever, click, but like that goes to the story. I'm not going to make a whole post like, oh, wife, I mean, granted she deserves it, but wifey made me this great meal today. Oh, and I just, I was so hungry today and she just was so thoughtful. Like, no, I'm not making this long drawn out post about the food, the food that is in front of me. I will shout it out and I will appreciate it and I will enjoy it, but I will enjoy it by eating it and eating every single bite of it and enjoying it that way.
Yeah.
Not by sharing it with the world on social media of what, because there's a lot of
Plate
people,
eggs.
Yeah.
they use social media as validation, as validation for their relationship. Oh, you didn't shout me out? Oh, you must not love me. I don't need to tell the world that I love you. I need to tell you that I love you.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Type of
a
thing.
big thing
or friendships,
too, man.
or you know, or music relationships, or partnerships, or whatever. It's like, oh, you didn't shout me out, you didn't share me, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't like my thing. Oh, you like the other person's, but you didn't like mine. Maybe it didn't come up on my timeline.
Yeah,
I don't,
man.
like I don't know what to
We all
tell you.
All busy, all doing things. Like we all got stuff going on. Like so, like that type of stuff. You would hope people just don't take too seriously. So
Oh, you liked it, but you didn't heart it. Oh, come on.
yeah.
Okay, like I paid attention to
You
it.
didn't comment.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, it is. Yeah, I'm like, we just so the validation for social media extends so far in so many different directions, from validation of like, oh, I got all these likes and that means that people like me. No, they don't.
Yeah, right.
To, you know, that one person.
It's true, man.
Savage.
It's no, you. That's a real.
Nah, not really.
Yeah.
No.
I just liked what you posted.
Come on, let's call a spade here. So half of the time, I'll even admit it, I've done it before, and you know, I mean, what I like, I do genuinely like, but do I give it my honest, full 100%? Like, yo, let me take a look at the picture that Amir posted today.
Yeah.
Whoa, the detail in the background, flawless.
Yeah, you're looking through real quick. Give it
Crazy.
maybe 5 seconds.
I'm like,
Yeah, give it a like.
usually
and
I'm
keep
like,
it moving.
yo, word, that's a homie. Oh, word, that's cool that he's doing that. Okay, cool. Quick, like, let me, you know, help him out. Let me try to give some support in the algorithm.
Yeah,
But other than that, yo,
that's it.
That's primarily what
I'm
I look
not
for.
really-
Whoever's, you know, if you drop something, I'll check it out. If he, you know,
Not to sound
posts, like
crazy.
a 2 cents of faith, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I mean the way I am, especially like if someone sends me their music and they're like check it out, like they DM me, I will listen to it. I'll check it out and I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah.
Depends who it is.
Yeah,
For me.
Yeah, definitely depends.
I don't, bro.
Yeah, it really
To be
did.
honest with you.
Yeah, if it's a friend, I mean, like for sure, like
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody I know, yeah.
Some random Joe and Henry. And
Oh, random
That
person,
I've never had a conversation with.
Yeah,
and
that
they're like,
might-
yo, check out my music. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because what's gonna happen is, let's say I don't like the song. I'm gonna be, anyone who knows me, bro, I'm brutally honest. Who you, I tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Call it like it is. You get mad, that's on you, bro.
Yeah, that's
not
on.
me.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of people are salty, dude. They're soft skinned.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've definitely had to tell somebody one time. They sent me the music, and the audio quality was just terrible. Like it was like, I'm like, bro, what did you record this with? Like it's 2019 at the time, and I'm like, you couldn't find something that sounded a little bit
Yeah.
better quality than how you record this? And I told him like, bro, like invest in like $100 microphone or something. I don't know how you recorded this, but
Right.
this does not sound clean. And it was tough because at that time I had a hard time with telling people like just straight up like about their music. So like that was tough because I was just like but I had to let him know because he wanted to be on the podcast and stuff like that. And I was just like maybe get some reps
Give it
in
some
first.
time. Yeah, I've done that to people.
Maybe rebook, bro.
Yeah, man.
I've done
It's
that.
harsh, but you gotta do it sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that to people because like they wanted to have a feature on one of my songs, and I was like, they would send me their take, and I'm like, I think you need to work on this.
It's
Take
tough, man.
take
but
this
yeah.
back, and then they would send it back, and I'm like, it's not there.
Yeah,
I need you to keep working on it. Maybe we'll get this thing together. Maybe not. Keep working on it. They send me back another thing, bro. Like honestly, I'm sorry. This is just not. I'm going in a different direction. It's not gonna be you. There's no hard feelings. It's just not where it needs to fit.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it be like that, man. Sometimes you send people a feature and they send you something back. You're like, ah, shit. Like I
I've
can't
done
use that. This is too good of a song. I can't put this verse on there, yo. Like,
yeah.
that's always a tough conversation. So yeah,
I've done that where I gave the feedback of like, hey, like really work on it, and like I'll give you my verse, and then they didn't really work on it, and they released the song, and I'm like, well, now I can't get that, and it was a fire verse too. Like I put like,
yeah.
I went a little lyrical miracle on it, and I'm like, I can't get that verse back.
Nope. That's it.
I can't reuse that verse because it's out.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like I check, I'm like, maybe it's only on YouTube. Maybe I can like kind of get away with it because it's only on YouTube. It's not gaining revenue, or you don't have it registered per se.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I can get it, but I'm like, that's still a stretch. You know, I don't like to really reuse verses like that unless it's like something that is super undercover that's not really released or promoted or whatever. But this was out there, and it was one of those verses I had kind of kept, and finally was like, all right, this sounds like a cool spot, and you know, maybe help out the song. And then the song did not turn out the way that I was hoping it would, and
Yeah.
man, I can't get that verse back.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like the quality was just bad, was just rough. The vocals were mixed rough. The execution was rough.
This had so much work to be done.
It was a lot of work, and that's not a knock to the person.
Nah,
it's just like, bro, like this is just where you need to areas that you need to work on. You know, and I hope you take it as constructive criticism and not like me trying to knock you down. I just want to see you better.
Yeah, exactly. Just go for something. Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah, it's good. And it's dope when
humble.
people do that to you.
Some
man.
people do take it, and you know, with a year, 2 years time, they get better.
I've seen the
They do.
improvement.
Oh,
and then I'm
I've
like,
seen it. It's always great when you see people like start out shaky, and then over time, like you just see them lock in and
Like,
finally figure
whoa.
it out.
Yeah.
And it's just dope to see. And it's like, yeah, that came with some people just keeping it real with them. And them learning the hard way. It's like the saying that the truth will set you free, but first will piss you off. It's like,
Yeah,
someone
facts.
tells you your shit's whack or you did terrible. It's like, it sucks at first, but it pays off. Like, I'll never forget. January 2019 in Dorchester. I did some
Motherfucker even knows exactly the month.
I'll never
Right.
forget it, bro.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
never forget it because like it stuck with me so hard. It was a showcase tour. You guys heard of the showcase tour?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like it was a competition thing, and like I did 3 songs I haven't performed in a long time. And I thought I was going up there and I was the shit. And those judges tore me apart. Like they ripped me up. Like they just ripped me up, man. And like reading that feedback, that criticism, like it was the best thing that probably could have happened to me because
Right.
everything changed after that. Like the whole, like the way my music sounded, the way I performed, how serious I take my live performance. And so, you know, I kind of needed that. But sometimes like it's that humbling. It's people telling it, you know, keeping it real with you. It's, you know, it can be tough, especially like, you know, dishing it out. But like,
yeah.
you know, in this music thing, man, like you need it. Like some people need to be told like when their stuff ain't right or if they're doing something wrong or if their performance is this and that, you know. But yeah, sometimes I feel like when I complain about certain artists and how they perform, not necessarily songs, because the way performances nowadays, I'm just like, I can say this with y'all because y'all not from that cloth
I
of
got
how
you.
you perform. Like y'all perform, y'all actually
Yeah.
rapping like your voices, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
sometimes I see stuff, I'm like, can I say like this is ridiculous? Like am I old? Am I getting old? What's going on right now? So
Yeah.
I'm talking about backing tracks and vocals and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
don't rap over
listeners,
your
yeah.
vocals.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's running rampant now. I don't even know. Like I just stopped complaining about it at this point, man. Like people using backing vocals because I'm just like, I thought we could just do it for the chorus. I thought I thought that was the rule, you know. And
Right.
nowadays it's like, I don't even know, man.
It's just a common. It's just it's like the standard now.
It's like, I don't even complain about it no more. Tech Nine said it best. I saw like the live he did, and he was just like, hey, like you getting paid to like not have to rap all your lyrics? More power to you. And that's coming from Tech Nine. That
That's
dude
true.
is-
Yeah,
it's
if you
Tech
can
Nine,
get
so,
if you
yeah.
can quote unquote get away with
You
it,
can get away with it. You know? Salute to you, but
Right.
yeah.
right.
My integrity can't allow for that. Like,
Yeah, no, I can't.
I can't perform. I did it for a bit. Like, I can't lie. Like, it was like 2019. I definitely did it, and the crowd didn't care. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's the other thing
They
too.
don't-
Like, the crowd does not care, and that's the so like you can get away with it, cool. But there's that part of me. It's like I'm not really singing this. Like, I'd rather have auto tune and sing with auto tune live than
Right.
have the backing vocal. And so like
I just want to give you something different than
Then
what
what
you could hear in your car or whatever at home. Like
Exactly.
you came for a new experience. So let me give you a new experience. Let me,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, I think we've mentioned this before, and I always do this, but I always say that like, oh, we talked about this last time or at some point on the pod, but
yeah.
you know, I want to give you a new experience, and sometimes my cadence may sound different from the live performance versus what I performed in the studio. So now you're getting just a whole different vibe,
Yeah, a
and
whole
then
different
you
vibe.
can literally see my face and my reaction and my emphasis on certain things, and you could see like either the anger, the joy, the happiness, the sadness, and what it is that I'm trying to convey. So you can physically have that physical experience with it. And I feel like you can lose that if you have your backing tracks there, because you're just you're almost mimicking the backing tracks
Exactly. Yeah.
versus trying to kind of express that physically on your own for people to see. And I think that's where, you have that separation of people really connecting with you and your music. Now, if you're like popular and whatever, and you have like backing stuff, like people are going to your show because they already know your music,
Exactly.
and they'll be able to sing along with it perfectly fine, and they're paying tickets to go see you. But if you're like an independent artist and you're trying to connect with people and you're just getting out there, like you got to be able to make that connection to people in a more in a face-to-face kind of way that is different. Because if not, everybody would be making it off of just playing music. I can just upload music to streaming and everybody will like it, and I don't have to go face to face. I don't ever have to perform.
Yeah, right.
Then what's the point of performing?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If you can get the same thing listening in your car. So just think about that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of those things when it comes to like performing live. Like, I'm just very passionate about giving people like the most authentic show I can possibly give. And so when I've seen that, like in terms of hip hop, like the backing vocals was coming like part of the norm, like I was like, all right, I guess I'll let that be. But like there's always that part of me where it's like I'm always gonna do my show the way I'm gonna do my show. Like, and I've I'm looking into like I have a Sauls who I work with. He had this device he pulled out, like it had like Antares auto tune on it, like the actual auto tune, like it was not just no regular pitch correction. Like I gotta hit him up. I'm like, yo, I need to perform with that, because if I can get like the exact key,
vocal chains,
like
Melodyne.
if I can perform
That's
with
dope.
that,
That's really dope.
it's
what Kyle
it's
Cole
dope.
seems
And like
to.
I like people could be like, oh, he's performing with auto tune. It's like, well, at least I'm performing, and now I can
At least you're actually doing it.
Exactly.
It's not a backing track. I'm actually doing
exactly, and then I can actually have some fun and sing things differently. And it's not easy performing with auto tune either. Like people think like it's easy to do, but like you got to know where your pockets are, because
You can't just sing whatever.
You can sing whatever.
And
It
it'll
will
come
sound
out
terrible.
perfect.
You'd be better off without it. So like, you got to know what you're doing when you're using that stuff. So it's not like it's cheat code and voila, things are good. Auto tune isn't even a cheat code. Like, you got to know how to record with it. Like, there's been plenty of times I record a song and I put in a key and I'm like, wait, I thought that was right. Oh no, okay, I gotta tweak this key now because this isn't working in this, or maybe I gotta use a different key. And I'm like, oh shoot, my music theory sucks. What's going on? Like that ain't a
Now
whole
you're questioning
rabbit hole.
everything.
Yeah, people just think, oh, they use auto tune, like it's like problem solved, and it's like, well, number one, probably thank the engineer, because he probably called it out and realized, oh shoot, like it needs to be in this key. You're doing this wrong, because some artists may not realize it. So like, anytime people say like they're using auto tune, it's like it's like, yo, it's discredited. It's like, nah, like it still takes some skill and Melodyne. Some people don't even know what Melodyne is.
Melodyne,
I try not to mention
for sure.
Melodyne too much, because it's like people already know enough
overuse
about
it.
the industry. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, man, like let's keep a couple secrets.
Right.
They don't gotta know the whole sauce, man. Like I've seen, but it's like I said that joking, like people are gonna learn about stuff. However, TikTok really just opened the
TikTok will take
floodgates
it
with
away.
certain things, man. Like people realizing like how important the engineer is, how important
Producers are.
producers are. Like
People, songwriters go on there and like, talk about what they actually do.
yeah, it's a whole thing when it comes to the industry, and like what makes things sound good, and like what goes into what. And, like people don't realize like
We're not using default settings for the most part.
No, yeah.
There's no default that's going into that. There's tweaks that go into it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like it takes a certain beast to like record like 3 songs in 2 hours, or like 3 songs in 1 hour. Some people can do it.
3 songs in an hour.
3 songs.
3 songs in an hour is wild.
3 songs in an hour is great, but there's people out there who do it, and it's like full songs fleshed out, everything like is like just maybe just needs to get mixed and mastered, but it's like is a certain sauce to like how you can come about doing that, and like it's out there, but it's like it takes time. You gotta figure out your formula and how you can and do that. But like it's not easy because like when you're messing with like auto tune and trying to figure out like your key and what's you're singing right, like it's it can be tricky, and obviously like I said with the music theory, you gotta be locked in on that too. So it's a whole thing, man. Like you go into the studio with like a certain mindset on something, like, oh, I'm gonna make this, and then like you rapping it out, you're like, oh shoot, like I gotta punch in with that part, and like I gotta the inflection, and then like
I was just gonna say that too. Like I've gone with the intention of recording 2 songs in an hour, knowing the songs, knowing how I want to do it, and then I'm recording the first verse isn't coming out right, I'm not saying it the way that I want, it doesn't sound the way that it should, I forgot a word, I'm taking out words, I'm adding ad-libs, I'm taking out ad-libs, I'm adding layers, and then all of a sudden an hour's up and you have like a verse and a half, and you're like
Damn.
it's tricky.
So so I'm not getting 2 songs done. We are gonna kind of peel that back, and we'll touch on that later, but not what I expected. Which I mean, it's not to me it's not a bad thing either, because you discover things that you again add, take away, switch up, whatever, to hopefully benefit the song in the long run. You're just timing is off a little bit, and it's not the timing that you thought it was going to be. So
and the word choice too, like I've always noticed like when you're rapping like intricate flows, like that word choice is everything. And
the syllables and everything.
Yeah, and like what you're capable of pulling off sometimes. Like sometimes people don't like. There's just certain things you just can't say next to each other, and it's like if you can pull it off, and everyone's different. Like for me, there's certain things I just don't put together. I'm like certain S words. I'm like we'll just avoid it. Like I'm not rapping that fast. If I'm trying to rap fast, I gotta be very particular with my words. Make sure I don't say and a lot. Stuff like that. Like it's like you gotta be very like particular about it. And then when you start rapping it, you're like, oh shoot, like can I even do this live? Like you gotta figure out like how to tweak that. It's a whole thing, man. You run into certain things when you record. It's the recording process is a very fun one, but like it's always dope when you get that final product, man.
Yeah. For sure. I try to, when I write, I try to leave kind of some opportunity where, like, especially if it's like kind of lyrical miracle, super fast, like rap, where I am able to like maybe like take out words in a sense where it still makes sense, but I can still rap fast without losing breath control and stuff like that, and still kind of have that cadence and stuff, but still kind of be able to remove some words without removing what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, yeah.
Just to give it some space. Like I've found myself having to do that sometimes, like in all honesty, and as far as like performing, I'm just like, this is not going to come out right if I try to do every single thing. So let's,
find a way to make it just more like
just find
easier. Yeah, Kendrick is the king of that. Like if you watch Kendrick before, I don't think Kendrick ever raps a full verse. He always takes out one word to get a breath in and fill in and stuff like that. That's where I first saw it on like a big stage. I was like, okay, he took out that word, or he just didn't rap that like the first few lines of that like that thing, and it still sounds great. He's just getting his breath and coming back in, and it still sounds really cool. And then and that's just stuff like you just learn like as time goes on and how to do it too. Another thing that made me think of, like, just bringing this up, like, I don't know if you guys ever had it happen to you, but like you ever like recorded a song and then like months later like you wish you just rapped it differently?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a 100%. Few songs like that. I hear it every time I rap it live. I'm like, damn, like why? Like the song I put out on Spotify, like it's like this is what people hearing, but it's like when you come see it live, I'm like, this is what should have been the recording for it. But
the live version, yeah. What I would love to do, and I think I've talked to you about this, is I would love to do like a live version project.
That would be dope. Yeah.
Whereas like you have that different cadence, and then obviously like just the way you perform, stuff that you add, the commentary or like the in-betweens or whatever, like you can include in it, but you have like a different version of it. Like I love listening to live versions of like artists that maybe, obviously perform live, or like rock bands that perform live. Like it's just a different feel. And like even though it's the same songs that I've been listening to, just the live version, it's like a new song to me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially too with like obviously like some of your bigger artists, like again I always like kind of tie them in. It's like Linkin Park, like when they do live stuff, their initial song the initial instruments that they're using to start the song is not necessarily how the song technically starts if you were to just listen to the record.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, what is a song? What is a song? What is a song? It says it's this, but like this is a different sound. And then all of a sudden, like you just hear like the notes start creeping in. And you're like,
And then
oh,
just
this is
hits.
such
It's
a
like, oh shit.
you're like, oh, this is such like a cool intro. And then you're like, I wish they did this on the album, but like at least you have, you know, a live version of it that you can stream or whatever that you can listen to. And you're like, oh, okay, like if I want a different version of that song, I can like check that out. So like that would be a goal of mine, is to try to get some scenario where I can record a whole, even, I mean, I was thinking of doing just like a whole album, like an album that I already have out, and just
Doing it live. And then have it available to, you know.
Yeah, record everything. You know, I want to learn how that would actually come about, but you know how to do that in the live sense of recording it without having, you know, any interference, yada 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 yada, all that fun stuff.
Really make it sound clean and stuff like that. Yeah,
Right, without feedback, or like you hear the beat twice, or you know, whatever.
All that stuff.
Again, that is outside of my scope of knowledge right now. But again, something that I would like to learn. But you know, having that as an, you know, just kind of a different option for people. Again, it's something that I enjoy, and I can't be the only goon in the world that enjoys something like that.
No, definitely not, man. It's a real thing, and like I've tried to do it when I perform. Like I'll just do like, I'll take like a song and just take it down one semitone. Like I've done it with my song Research, because I've just done it so much where I'm like, man, like let me just like amuse myself and just make it sound a little different. And it's actually easier to sing live when it's down one semitone. I have a song, Rely on You. I take it up one semitone because I'm like, I can actually sing it easier, because it's such a like, performing live when I sing low, it's very hard for me.
Yeah.
Unless I had like an in-ear monitor, but like who's doing that for like certain venues, you know? Like that's
Right.
a little much. Yeah, it'd be overkill. I'd put up with an in-ear monitor at like certain venues, but
The jungle, like
with an in-ear monitor, sometimes I want to do it because I'm like, man, if I could just hear myself better,
Yeah,
I would,
yeah.
that's
but like,
true.
yeah,
I have been thinking about wanting to invest in that just because of that, and like as an example, and not to knock on what happened, we it was a beautiful night, but like MOCG night, we had like one speaker, so like part of it was hard to hear some of the instrumentals. So I was like, yo, like, and then you know we were talking with B Snare after, and he was like, yo, like I think, you know, next time like I want to have like the in-ear monitors, and I was like, that's actually like something like I kind of do want to invest in, just because I know for me,
I know. I was just about.
$400-$800, dude. They ain't cheap.
Yeah.
They're not cheap, but you buy one of them and that's it. You're good. You're good for a while. You're rocking the things for a minute. So
because it's like, I know for me, it's like sometimes, especially with my music, like there's certain songs that like I need to hear the beat so that I know like when to come in, because if I miss like what happens, like for example, like Check It Out, like if I miss like those first couple beats because it fades in, if I miss that, like my timing is going to be completely off, and then I'm going to sound just stupid trying to find out where it is and trying to catch it, and then I'm just like and I don't really want to like modify it. So like, or like day one that I did, like I was literally standing next to the speaker because I'm like, I have to hear how this goes as it kicks in, because like I need those first two notes to know when to start this verse, you know, because timing is everything for that song. So I'm like, when those scenarios, I'm like, in-ear monitors would be perfect, because sometimes like they don't have the floor monitors where you can hear everything directly. Everything is pointed out that way, so you miss like certain instruments or stuff that, you know, part of your backing tracks or whatever, or not your backing tracks, but your backing instrumentals.
Yeah.
And you're just like even with Let Go, there was a couple times, I don't know if you guys notice it, like I started getting off key because I couldn't hear certain parts of the beat, and then I was like, wait, where am I?
Yeah.
And then like I would hear it, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, let me get back into it. And I'm like, oh, now like I don't like stuff like that happening in my set, because I'm like, I want to have like not a flawless set, but I want to, you know, I want to come off strong, especially I'm opening it too. But
exactly. Yeah.
I'm just like, man, like I don't want people to think like that's how I perform.
Yeah, I was thinking, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay. No, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, maybe I just get in my head sometimes, but that's just me. But yeah, I, you know, just kind of avoiding those things, because I've seen people do it, even like in Lowell.
It's hard when you have like a quiet intro as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, I just don't. I want to be able to like hear it and just.
Yeah, the internet monitors would make things a lot easier. I think the only times I really notice why I needed it is like if I'm singing, like lower pitch, because I just can't do it live, like because I can't hear myself like all the way, and then I'm just like I just can't sing it properly. And that's just the only time I've done it, and that's just come with trial and error, just learning that about myself with just performing live, because and that's but it took experience to realize that. But maybe in time, like I'll incorporate more stuff like that. If I had, Rosendale Porch Fest, or even like any Porch Fest, like I plan on doing that this year. A bunch of towns do it, and that's definitely one of those things that are like I may take that opportunity to maybe perform in one of those and just maybe see how it goes, because they give you kind of just have whole reins to do what you want, but you have to bring your own equipment. So like it's and they set you up wherever. So like doing that last year, that kind of made me like realize, I could do whatever. They give you an hour set. So like
Dude, that's dope.
Yeah, an hour. I did an hour set last year, man. That's
rough.
Yeah, that was crazy, luckily it was outside. The weather was cool, so I wasn't like sweating. Yeah. And it was like the perfect weather, because I'd be sweating my off when I perform, man.
Same. I got
like
towel
1,000 degrees warmer on stage. Like you're good before you go up there, but like on MOCG night, like I was still sweating like the entire rest of the time after I went up.
Yeah, you got the lights, you got all that stuff, and then obviously just jumping around and moving around, trying to be interactive. I had like a towel in my back pocket. I was like, I know I'm gonna need this.
I bring a towel.
As soon as I got off. As soon as I got off, literally
enough. I don't bring a
towel over the head. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna just get all this shine.
You bring a face cloth next time. Too.
Yeah, my last show I brought a change shirt. I brought a towel, and I didn't know the venue was gonna be the way it is. Like shout HK HQ, like they got a dope thing there, and they had the fan and everything. But it was just me. Like I just sweat a lot, and I was just sweating my ass off. And I brought all that stuff just from like experience. Like I had one time I did a show, and I was sweating so much, and it got in my eye, and I'm performing. I'm like holding my face like this, and I'm singing, and I'm like, it's looking like I'm passionate. It's like, nah, my eyes are burning.
My eyes are on fire right now.
Sell this, come on.
I'm still singing it, but like the whole time, just like so my eyes are killing me.
That's why I take my glasses off sometimes. It's not because, I don't really like to wear them too, and I think I look better in pictures without them. You're welcome. But it's because like when I start sweating, they start drooping down, and then like the whole set, I'm going like this,
it's just like
trying to push it back up. I'm like, I don't need that annoyance.
Nose pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, I don't need this annoyance, so I'm just gonna not be able to see half the crowd for a little bit, but I'll be able to actually perform, and maybe that's a good thing, because then I get out of my head of people's reactions, the immediate facial reactions. Like I'll still engage with people, but I'll avoid the facial reactions or people not paying attention to me, even though they paid to show up and go whatever.
Yeah.
But
but that's a story for another time. But just being able to just kind of not have to focus on this.
Yeah, I feel that.
For 20, 25, 30 minutes of the set.
I've only performed with glasses once. That was at Rosendale Porch Fest, funny enough. Yeah, that was like the only time I ever did it. But yeah, I could imagine like having to do that every time would get very annoying. Yeah, so.
I know. I was surprised I did it at MOCG night. I didn't realize it till after. I was like, I left my glasses on. But I think it was just like the moment. And they were like, yo, Jay, you ready? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. I had them on. I think I might have took them off for Hope.
Yeah.
I think I took them off for Hope.
Okay.
But for my set, I had them on.
Really?
Yeah. And then I was like, I didn't take them off. All right, I'll take them off for Life set. I also kind of do that sometimes.
Oh, shit.
I'll do like one of like two or a combination of different things. But like if I have like multiple sets, like my set, and then like maybe I'll rap with like Murph or you.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I'll do is like one set I'll have the glasses on, another set I'll have the glasses off, or I'll have like the hat backwards for like one set and then forward for the other. So it like gives like the illusion that it's like a different person or just like a different thing, and yeah,
Maybe they won't
They
notice
gonna
me.
make sure, yeah.
yeah, or like the hat's off, or like the towel's like in my hand this time, it's not in the back pocket, and, you know. And then it's like, oh, it's a different. Oh, it's not the same. Yeah, obviously it is, but I don't know. To me, it's just like it's like a reset button. And it's like, okay, like now I'm doing something different, and it's not my set. Like now I'm kind of morphing into this person's set. I don't know. That's just a mental thing for me, but
Yeah.
It
I
works.
don't know. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of fun.
Everybody
to
has
just,
their own little tricks and things that they gotta do before they perform and stuff like that. Yeah, like, you know, just whatever sticks with you to, you know, to give that, you know, dope performance and just, you know, be comfortable up there is like everything. And
right.
I'm just a big proponent on like giving like a good performance, man. Like, 'cause I'm just being honest with you. I just see people not caring as much. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, like, nah, like make sure your live performance is dope. Like, don't fall into like, you know, getting comfy up there. Like, stand out. Like, really give people like that shit. Like, you know, really, you know, do that part right, because that's how you're gonna make these new fans. That's how you're gonna make people really like connect with you. They see you go off on stage or just doing your thing, and then that's gonna stick with them. You know, like, you know, the power of a live performance definitely can go a long way. And
For
you
sure.
know, through my years of seeing live performances, you know, I've, you know, gained to, you know, two rappers I can certainly say like from their dope live performances I've become you know, great fans of is Freddie Gibbs and JPEG Mafia. Those are two rappers like I did not listen to until I
Gibbs
saw
is
them
nice.
live,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah, that's
what
the one.
the
Yeah.
like what? How have I not been hip to this? Like, why am I just realizing JPEG Mafia is so dope? Why am I just, you know, so stuff like that. So, you know, if you get that dope live performance, man, you can really hook in a fan for life.
Oh,
Like, you can
absolutely.
really hook in somebody. Like, they'll always support you. So that's why I always just some extra, you know, extra just passionate and just extra like, you know, serious about my live performance. And I don't care who's in the
I take
crowd,
it
man.
seriously.
Oh yeah.
I
It's like
give it
you're
my
gonna
all.
pay
I don't give a
attention.
shit. Yeah, I don't care who's. If there's 10 people in the crowd, 100 people, 1,000 people, I'm gonna give you the same show. Like, I don't care. I don't care. So yeah.
You ever perform and then you get off, and then maybe like 10 minutes later you're like, yo, I wish I could just do this over again now, and like I would do it like 10 times better.
It's happened before. Yeah. It's definitely happened before. Especially like when I'm doing like newer songs, because like sometimes like you realize like, oh shoot, like I could have done it this way, and then like, you know, because, you know, sometimes you just like freestyle stuff on stage, like, you don't realize like, you know, you're adding like a certain thing to a song, and like,
Yeah,
you
like,
know,
oh,
so,
I wish I could have said that at this point, or I could have done that, and you're like,
yeah.
I don't know. I've like reflected back, and I'm like, man, I could have done that. Maybe a little. I mean, maybe that's just me over critiquing it. Cause even the last show, like, it's been a year since I performed before, obviously, MOCG night, and everybody's like, oh man, like it's like you never left. I'm like, I feel like I didn't do jack up there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But if y'all rocked with it, cool.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm living it. I'm not seeing it, so I don't really know what is coming off or what I think is coming off. Because sometimes what I think is coming off is not what's coming off, and it's actually better than what I think is coming off. So.
Yeah, I mean, as artists, we're always going to be hypercritical of how we are. It's just part of the you know, how it is, and that's just a good thing. It just lets you know you care, lets you know that you're trying your best to improve and just get better with it. And as long as you're not over, you know, getting too crazy about it, then, you know, it's good. It's all healthy. Because there's definitely some times where you can overthink it. Like, I know, like Kenny Beats has that thing. It's like, was it dots? Yeah, don't overthink. Like, I always try to remember myself with that. Like,
it's true though.
Yeah, as an artist, like, just sometimes just don't overthink it. Like, you know, if like that song I was telling you about, I don't relate to from 3 years ago. Like, shoot, just drop it. Why not? Like, you know, just throw it out there, see what happens. Bam. You know?
It could be the hit. It could
be the hit.
Yeah.
You know, you put it out there. It's like, cool. Now you got more content for your stuff. Like, you know, it's like, and like, if it doesn't work out the way you did, so what? Try again. Boom.
Exactly.
You know?
That is part of the fuel to, you know, for us as creatives to like get more shows.
Yeah.
Because like, oh crap, like it gives you more drive to get the next show. Because like it's like, all right, I'm gonna get this right next time.
Exactly. 100%, man. 100%.
Been having a good convo, man. Really appreciate you taking your time,
Yeah.
coming through. is there, before we kind of close out, is there anything you have coming up that you want to plug that we can, share with everybody? Any shows or music that you got coming that we want to, plug real quick? How can people connect with you being, first time on the pod?
Yeah.
We want to make sure that people are able to connect with you and all that fun stuff. So
definitely. I appreciate that. Yeah. I definitely, for the second half of the year, I definitely plan on putting out a lot more stuff. And I'm sticking to that. Like, I'm making sure, like, or to put out is all the stuff that I've been performing that's unreleased, because people have been asking for it. So I definitely just plan on having that out. In terms of shows, I'll be announcing that as it goes on. And just stay posted with that. Follow me at Amir Maxx 1. If you type in Amir Maxx, luckily, thank God it's easy to find Amir Maxx. So that's dope. You can look it up and find whatever you need. And I just want the people to be ready for the vibe that I'm putting out there. Like, I'm really trying to just make stuff that you can get hyped to, make stuff you can work out to, make stuff that gets you motivated and just has you ready to go. Like, that's kind of just like the bag that I'm trying to be in as of right now. Just stuff that's just relatable, stuff that people can just feel something with, man. That's kind of just the bag I'm going for. I've been doing it for a long time now. I wrote my first song when I was 10. I'm 28. So, like, this is 18 years of making music, and I put that out there just to let people know, like, this ain't no overnight. Like, I've been doing this for a long time. So like, I gotta let them know, man. Because sometimes, like, if they listen to the music and they're wondering certain things, like, this comes from 18 years of doing this, and loving the music and the art form, and treating it with the respect it deserves. So I just want to put that out there in the universe, and appreciate y'all for having me on. This has been dope, by the way. I gotta make it very clear, like, this felt like I'm just joining in with y'all. Like, it didn't feel like y'all were like interviewing, throwing like crazy questions. We just shooting, and I thought that's really dope. So this has been fun, man.
Word up. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming out again. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Doors always open.
Yeah, doors always open.
Yeah.
Definitely come back for sure. We'll definitely love to have you back.
Yeah, I mean, if I have like an EP or an album, if that happens, I'll let y'all know. Like, I think that'd be like a fitting time to make it happen, because right now I don't really have any of that going on. I'm really just singles focused at the moment, because I'm noticing that's just a lot easier to go about, and less money.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, so it's just
Less
a lot
time
easier.
and money.
Yeah. So it's just easier with the singles. But if I do an EP, which that may happen, I may come, I'll let y'all know, and we can see what we can do.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, we can do a deep dive into that. We can, do a deep dive into who Amir Maxx is.
Yeah.
Dive a little bit more into just who the person is, kind of connect even more with people, and just kind of sharing, experiences or whatever, just to kind of get people to, really know who you are as well. But I enjoyed the conversation today. I'm not saying that it was a bad thing. Like, this was horrible.
Yeah.
I really want to cover this, and this is where we want to go with it. No,
I knew exactly what you meant.
Insight is beautiful, and this is stuff that I think a lot of people need to hear over and over again. Again, we've had some of these conversations before, but when you hear it from multiple people, hopefully it starts to sink in. Like, no, this is real. Listen and pay attention, and add to your caliber of things that you can do, or add it to how you can grow as people. This isn't to knock people down. This is to uplift people, make people better. So
1000%.
that's why we're here. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning in. I want to say God bless. Appreciate all of y'all. Shout out to Kayla, our other co-host, who's not here, but you're with us in our prayers. Hope you're doing well. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith. We got
L.Y.F.E.
And we also got
Amir Maxx, and that's all facts.
And as always, in the bake, doing his thing, we got Krispy Pic.
I love it.
And this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?